from my friends, and their fathers or whatever, they're telling me about where they come from. And like Somalia, I learned about Somalia. Like a lot of people know about Somalia now, but I learned about a place like Somalia from the Seamen's Welfare. There used to be the welfare. We just got food over there when I was a kid. And I think it makes you feel a richer person.
So Butetown, for many generations, was, and I suppose to some extent still is, a community that's not just a mixture of people. Just multicultural, intercultural in terms of people, but also multicultural, intercultural in terms of music, culture, and so on. So Carnival was part of that.
I suppose that's where Carnival was born from, and it was born from that celebration in Barbados. It was to celebrate the end of the harvest, the crop over. So it was something that was important. It was integral, really, to your culture, to your community. Something that happened every year without fail. You know, rain or shine, Carnival happened. So.
And there used to be quite a few floats because they were representative of the different nationalities and the people in the bay.
Well, I remember Aswad being at the Carnival, and they were the headline band, and there was still time for people to play, but no one wanted to go on after Aswad. No one would follow them except for one of the local bands whose name I can't remember. Can't remember their name. But one of the local bands said, we'll play. And they just took over from Aswad and just kept the crowd going.
Aswad were there, I remember Aswad, Tipperary.
Musical Youth.
Musical Youth, that was a good tune. Yeah.
Bo Diddley.
It was a...
And it was good because like the local bands were, like I said, there was people who had a lot of talent, and it was one time where you could really sort of show off to people who you knew. I think a lot of people just thought it was like reggae music and stuff like that.
I know.
There was nothing about that.
It was multicultural melody.
Yeah. It was, outside the paddle steam was reggae, wasn't it?
I don't think there was many bands they turned down to play.
I usually come up with, when the time I come from London, usually about 20, 30 of us. So around here, sir, all they could call the smoke. And like kids out there, over there, police, army recruits in, and just all this just dancing, sitting down, and then people across there, food and drink all across there. You know, everybody was just doing their own thing.
I used to spend my day, there's a pub down there called the Paddle Steamer. They used to set up a sound outside, didn't they? Music, and we'd sit there for the day the sun would be out, and I mean thousands of people back and forth.
People you haven't seen for years.
Old people, young people.
And there was never any trouble, never. I've never seen a police even as much as talk to somebody. You know, the most I see police talk, if somebody go, all right, Gov. Or, you know, it was like, they had presence in numbers, but they never had that same presence in, you get what I mean? There was like just a normal member of the community then. And the kids was playing with them, they were playing with kids. And
everybody knew everybody, everyone knew your kids, knew who you were, who your mum
everyone's
was.
an auntie and uncle, like, if you know what I mean. It was that kind of situation.
So from here, all the way through, up until where you can see those two grey units there, that's where the stage would have been, and the stage would have been at a slight angle. So you'd have had people all the way across the front of the park and all the way back to here, just listening to the music. And those who wanted to get close to the stage would be close, others would be here, some people would be in this area, so they could pop into the old community centre and have a drink at the bar.
It stayed around the paddle steamer.
It went on for days before, it started days before.
You know? Everyone would just be there for the evening then. Wouldn't they? Yeah, as soon as it got dark, staying there, children would still be playing about, because them days...
We used to go blues.
Yeah, children weren't, it was not like now, kids could run around by there, you didn't have to worry about what you got to worry about these days, could you?
But I know people prayed the week before, it was like, oh, please don't rain, because it was just, you know, the highlight. You know what I mean? You think it was the end of your summer, you know, it was August.
That's what it was.
Bank holiday, kids went back to school. It was a highlight
within
of the whole
2 or 3
summer.
days. Yeah, it was. It was the end. It was like the official end and celebration of the summer.
Progress is always good, but what you sweep away in the sands of time, sometimes you sweep away a history and you sweep away a lot of good things to build what people say is modern. But the community here used to be a very close community. It was a very close community. Everybody seemed to know each other, and it was very safe community. And I think it was more, as I said earlier in the class, to me it was like a village in the corner of Cardiff. And so now, as you say, with progress, it's changed. So the community isn't quite what it used to be. In fact, there's very little of the old community left, and a lot of people, the older ones, are dying and passing. And of course, when people have new houses or move out of the area,
I don't know.
It's not the same. No, as I do still go down there, but it's not that a lot of the families have moved on, and it have lost a lot of its community, you know. From what I can see, I'm outside. I live in Grangestone, so it's not really fair for me to say. It's probably better to ask someone else there. But I think with the bay being built all around it, because you got, you know, the Millennium Centre, the Oval Basin, this happening there, that happening. There's always some event down there, one weekend or the other. So is there a need for the carnival? You know what I mean? I think they've like tried to spread, haven't they? It's all gone spread out more than just on the canal now.
The community has been segregated. I think back then there was a big West Indian influence in the community and in Cardiff throughout, which is slightly different now. It was so different in the community then.
And the different nationalities, wasn't it?
Although we were so diverse, people related to each other quite differently as opposed to today. You know, things are really different in the community.
I find people seem to have lost their enthusiasm. Or maybe the people that's always run it and it's been there, it's gone, you know, times change.
Well, you can only run for so long.
For so long, exactly.
Well, the difficulty is to get funding. And the other difficulty is getting people interested in what a lot of us wanted to see as carnival on the streets.
In my opinion, the carnival stopped when new people came in as chairperson. I was voted out as chairperson. A new chairperson took over, and they either didn't want or didn't have the energy to run the carnival, which is a shame, because in the 4 years that we worked with it,
why don't you give it a chance? Oh, seriously.
So what, you know, I mean, you've got to ask people, what is it they really want? Do they want a music festival on the park, or do we want a replica of what carnival is?
I think there's a lot of reasons why it won't come back, but there's always a possibility. I think if somebody, I've always believed if you want something enough, you can make it happen. But I suppose there's a lot of history in the community, and it might be a challenge. It might be a bit of a challenge to do it.
We could tell them enough.
We could tell them a lot of things to do, and there are still plenty of people in the area who've had history in the area who would welcome the return of the Butetown Carnival.
What is that to stop it from happening? The only thing that I could see would put any span in the work to stop anything happening now would be this health and safety business. But once we can get around that, you can tell any of them people now that we're going to have a carnival tomorrow. You tell anybody out there, drop a flyer to anybody, any salmon, any arts in the area, you go to them and say, listen, we're having a carnival today, come and do something for us. They're going to be here. They're going to be here, and they're going to be thinking about money. It's, you know, we're doing something, and everybody's happy. When everybody's walking around like, you know what I mean? Nah, man.
But I find now, you know, yeah, in the last few years, people have asked, would we be interested? To be honest, and really honest, no.
I think the people are not, the heart's not in it anymore, is it? I don't think so. I don't think anyone's really...
To put the amount of work and the hours that's needed
it takes years to build up as well.
And, you know, if you've got if we're coming together as a group and if we're all thinking on the same level, then it's fine. But if we've got people pulling in each direction, that's hard work.
The man was a oneness, but I hear people say about, oh, we can't bring it back because we couldn't create the same vibes. Nobody wants to create the same vibe. It's progress, it's move on, you get what I mean? But to me, it's not about creating the same vibes, it's about bringing the community back together.
Yeah, if Carnival appeared tomorrow, of course I'd be there. Yeah, you'd have to be there. You'd have to support your local community, yeah.
Forget about these people who tell you, oh, I can't bring it back because of this and that. There's nothing named can't. If we want to bring the carnival back, mate, we can bring it back. Once we can get around the elephant safety issue, but how to get around that? Make everybody sign a waiver. That's it, we're around that. Goodbye, people. This is me.
Who's gonna stay at home while the fighters are fighting? Who's gonna turn their head while the war is raging?
Get the carnival back. Give it back to the community.